Hey everyone, I'm Kelsey,
And I'm Savannah,
and you're listening to A Little Limb Different podcast.
where we are discussing all things limb difference.
We know that growing up with a limb difference can be a struggle, so we're here to help.
So join us as we cover all the hard topics for limb different girls living in a two-handed world.
Hello, everyone. We're so excited to be back. Welcome back to A Little Limb Different podcast. We are on episode 6, dealing with discrimination.
Yes. Hello, everyone. We missed you, and we're so glad to be back. We were on our crazy vacations.
Yes, they were much needed breaks from work and just life in general.
I mean, everyone needs a vacation, I swear. I probably just work to pay for vacations.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just so nice.
It was like the entire, leading up to the trip, I'm just like, I want to be on the trip. I want to go. And now I'm back and I'm like, I want to go back.
I know. I'm like, I need another one.
Yeah,
I'm like already
ready.
planning the next one.
Yeah, seriously.
So we want to talk a little bit about our vacations. Kelsey's going to talk a little bit about hers a little bit later. But I want to tell you all a little bit about mine.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the California and saw the sequoia trees.
Mm-hmm.
These are the trees that are like thousands of years old. They're like 2,000 years old, which is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen them.
No, I haven't. I've heard of them though.
What's weird is I've never heard of them until my sister-in-law was like, I want to go see the sequoia trees. And I was like, what is that?
Where are they again?
They're in California.
Oh, okay. California.
I don't exactly remember like where, but she just graduated nursing school. So that was like her vacation that she really wanted to do. So we were like, all right, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds fun.
So me and my husband flew into Phoenix and we decided to camp. I'm not a camper, I'm a glamper. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I'm definitely getting an Airbnb like all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other vacations we've done together, we have done Airbnbs and done that. But this time we just wanted to be a little bit cheaper and like off the grid. So we decided to camp. And my brother and his family, they camp all the time. So they have like all the camping gear. They have like the stove, like a good tent, like a good mattress. Like they have it like all together. I was so surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my husband flew into Phoenix and we rented a van. So we wanted to do like be all together like family time and like drive up to the Sequoia National Park. So we rented the van and we went and picked up my brother, his wife, and his 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we're camping with the 3 kids and all of us. There's like 8 of us. So it was like a 7-hour drive to the Sequoia National Park, turned into like 12.
Oh my gosh.
Like I couldn't understand why everyone was like the kids ate like every 3 hours. I'm like, how are you hungry?
Jeez.
So it turned into a very long trip, but not that bad. My brother was like, we're leaving at 3 a.m. because he still wanted the kids to sleep because he knows how they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we left super early that day. Trip was forever long. And what's annoying so bad is that in California, they don't let you use public restrooms. Like you have to literally find somewhere where you can use a restroom.
Okay, seriously, like real quick, that's what happened in our trip too. Like everywhere in Scotland and Spain. Well, not Spain, but Scotland, like you can't use public bathrooms. Like they just don't have them.
I think that should be like against the law.
That's what I'm saying too. Like we went to a grocery store and they're like, sorry, like you're not allowed to use our bathrooms.
I'm like, that is so insane to me. And
I
some
know.
places were like, well, you have to buy something. Like, I don't care if I have to buy something, like whatever, as long as it's not like $50, like whatever, I'll buy a Coke or like a hamburger or something. But you just like turning away people just because like they don't want the homeless people in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're a person, you're a body. Like everyone has to use the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
like at some point in their life. But yeah, I was super we dealt with that for like hours being through California and like the kids having to go to the bathroom. I mean, us adults having to use the restroom, been in the car for like freaking 10 hours.
Yeah.
But we finally got to the Sequoia National Park. And like when you drive in, it was so beautiful, Kelsey. There was like a giant like sequoia tree on the side. And that was like our first one. And we were all like having our heads out the window of like this like weird 15 passenger van, you know, like all of our heads. We're like looking at it like, oh my God. Like, because they're just giant. Like, I still don't understand how they grow like that. I was kind of asking like the park ranger. We did like a little in service kind of and like learned about them.
Hmm.
And I still don't understand. It's just that they're like thousands of years old. Like you've heard of oak trees, right?
Yeah.
And they're like hundreds of years old.
Hmm.
So like imagine like 1,000-year-old tree, like
Wow.
how big it would be.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
So,
so pretty.
oh my gosh, they're so pretty and like crazy big. The freaking how wide they are is like probably is how wide of my house is. Like no joke.
Oh my gosh.
We look like little ants compared to them.
Did you get any pictures?
I did. I'm definitely gonna post them on the page, and
Yeah.
I posted kind of some when I was on vacation, but I had zero cell service. So if I like died,
Mhm.
you wouldn't even know.
Oh my gosh.
Like we were searching for cell service because my husband still had to kind of do some work stuff. I was, I was doing, me, whatever,
Yeah.
Instagramming it, whatever. But anyways, we decided to camp and everything. We finally got to our campsite. In the national park, you can just kind of like go anywhere, and that's really good for the kids so they can just like literally be rambunctious and like not worry about other people.
Hmm.
But the funny thing is that camping, well, how they camp and stuff, there's no like showers or like bathrooms. It's like literal off the grid.
Uh, no bathrooms?
No bathrooms, girl. He's like, I was like texting my brother before the vacation, and he's like, no bathrooms. Bring some baby wipes, and you're crapping in the ground.
Uh,
I was
oh my
like,
God.
is this a joke?
Yeah.
Like, this is a literal joke. And he's like, no, it's not. And so, me and my husband, we've only been married 3 years. Like, we haven't gotten to like these weird situations, I'm like, I'm never usually that dirty.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. But he's like, I have a poop tent. And I'm like, what in the hell is a poop tent?
Ew.
Like, never heard of this thing. But it's just like a tent. So you're like kind of covered in the woods. And he literally digs a hole in the ground and has like a freaking Home Depot bucket that he puts like a toilet seat on. And that's how you go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And of course, things go wrong on the vacation. He forgets the toilet seat.
Uh,
We have no toilet seat. We have to sit literal on a bucket. Like
oh my gosh. I
it
could
was
not.
bad. It was bad. And I get like traveler's diarrhea. I'm being like honest with you guys. Okay. When I got to the site, I had to go.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
was just so embarrassed for myself. But I mean, I had to.
Wait, like, what do you do with the bucket?
You keep it there. It's like a toilet. So like
Wait, so like kind of like a porta potty, everybody just uses it. You don't like dump it or
yes.
anything. Ew.
Okay. So like every like third person that went to the bathroom, you would cover it and then just like go to another section of the like another area.
Oh my gosh.
I like the first time I came out, my brother and his kids are used to it. Like they just use it all the time. But I came out and he was like, "Did you bury it?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Did I
Uh,
bury it?" He's like, "You have to put dirt on top of it so it's not smell."
oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, "Oh my God." I almost vomited, Kelsey.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not okay, but I kind of stopped eating.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But we got used to it and no one cared and you weren't around anyone, and my husband's like, you just have to go, like it's fine. It's a normal human thing. I'm like, I know, but it's weird.
Yeah, I would have a really hard time doing that.
Yeah, and then there's no baths. I'm like wiping with like baby wipes.
Hmm.
And I bought these. They usually just like wipe themselves down with like a water bottle and like their baby wipes. That's how they do their bath whenever they go camping. But I
Mhm.
bought these things off of Amazon. They're called adventure wipes, and they were amazing. They're like so big because you can like wash off your entire body, and they
Mm.
smelled so good. And my brother made fun of me like so hard that I bought these. But he ended up using them. He's like, "Let me have some of those." I'm like, "Oh, now you want them."
Oh, yeah, of course.
But that was amazing. Just the whole experience, just being with family and like seeing the sequoia trees and like how old they are. We went on a little hike, which was terrible but good. Um, my brother saw this hike that is called Weaver Lake, and that's like what you get to at the end. Well, he thought it was like a mile and a half or something, like super easy.
Mhm.
We were not prepared, let's just say. Let's just say we were dying.
Oh gosh.
This hike ended up being 4 miles up and 4 miles
Uh,
down.
oh my gosh.
Yes, and we did it with a 4-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Oh gosh.
And we didn't even change the 4-year-old's shoes. Like, we forgot to put, like, actual shoes on him, so he's walking in Crocs.
Aw.
Um, they were some troopers. Like,
Yeah.
the view and like just the time together was just so hilarious. We were so miserable, but like we were seeing people go up and like come down and stuff. We're like, okay, we're like close. Like we were asking the people, we're like, hey, how much further? And they're looking at this map that we don't have. And I'm like, where did this map come from? Because we need it.
Yeah.
Um, they're like, yeah, you're kind of close. No, we weren't. No,
You're
we were
kind of
not.
close.
Don't lie to us.
Oh gosh.
Um, so we we're like conserving water. We're like, don't drink that. Like, we have to conserve our water for like coming back down.
Mhm.
Not have enough snacks. Like, we were sharing Slim Jims.
Oh.
Like, you eat half, I'll eat the other half. This is like survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
But we were like, okay, we have to keep going. Like, we've already probably gone like 2 miles. Like, we're not just gonna quit now. Like, we're going. So we
Mhm.
all decided like we're getting to the top because it was beautiful up there. I mean, it was this lake that was in between like two mountains, and it was like the snow that had melted into it, and it was crystal clear. It was super cold, but it was just so cool to kind of get like the finished product
Mhm.
and to finally get up there. But yeah, that's kind of like a little wrap up of my vacation. And we finally got home, and I slept for like days and like took the best shower of my life.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, yes, I need my skincare. I need to shave my legs. Like, and my husband, I don't know if it's about like guys or something, but like I knew that I was not like I needed clean clothes every single day because I wasn't bathing,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And like he was not prepared for that. I'm like,
Oh
why?
gosh. Did he like bring only like a few outfits or something?
Yes.
Of course.
I'm like, you can't just wash them there. So he was struggling, but I brought like underwear each day, like socks each day. Like I
Mhm.
was not going without or like wearing the same thing over again because you're so dirty. Like
Yeah.
it's like the dust everywhere. And like I hate campfire smoke.
Oh, so do I.
And like going to bed with it, we had to, but I was like, you know what, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was so amazing with my brother and them having like all the stuff because I woke up and they had like fresh coffee. Like I've never seen this before. They had like a thing that like went over your coffee mug and you put like your what is it called? Like your paper in there for like the coffee grounds.
Mhm.
So you just like put your paper in there and then you do your hot water and it's just like fresh dripped coffee. And it
That
was
sounds so
so
good.
nice just like sit outside and like by the fire and like it was just really cool.
Yeah, that sounds so nice.
I will definitely go back there, honestly.
Yeah, I'd love to go someday. I don't know if I'll use a bucket and all that kind of stuff, but I'd love to visit there someday.
I suggest like if you spend the money a little bit. We almost did it. We got like a little cabin in the Sequoia National Park, but they were really expensive.
Mhm.
But the experience is so much better. Like would probably definitely do it again, but I would want to do it by a bathroom maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me a little bit about your vacation. I read a little bit. I saw some of your photos. Absolutely amazing. How long were you gone for?
Like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Which I gotta say, like, I think 2 weeks is a little bit too long for me to be like away from home and like my pets. And by the end of the trip, we were all kind of like exhausted and we're like, okay, we're ready to just be in our own home.
Yeah, did y'all have like just chill days?
Not really. Well, okay, so we spent our first week in Scotland. It's probably like my 10th time going to Scotland because all of my mom's family live over there.
Really?
And my aunt, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, but this was Paul's first time going to Scotland. So we had to do like all the touristy stuff. Um, so when we first got there, like we were getting ready for like my aunt's wedding because she was getting married. We got there on a Thursday. She was getting married that Saturday. So everything was just like go, go, go. And I gotta say, I think the wedding was like the best part of the whole trip. It was just so fun. I love weddings. I love dancing and all that. But the rest of the Scotland trip was also like go, go, go because we wanted Paul and like my sister's boyfriend to be able to see like all the really pretty things in Scotland.
Yeah.
And we only had like a short amount of time because we were going to Spain after that. Um, so we saw like Edinburgh, which is like my favorite city in Scotland. It's so pretty. It's
I
very
never heard of it.
historical. Yeah, it's very historical. And we got to do like an underground tour, which it was like kind of like a haunted tour. So that was fun. Um, and then we toured the castle, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, I think I got like 20,000 steps that day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
I
I
was
feel
like
you on
dead.
that.
Yeah. And like everything in that city is like uphill. So I definitely got a workout that day.
I
Um,
feel that hardcore. I feel like I came back from vacation skinnier than I left.
yeah. That's
I'm
why
like,
I didn't feel bad like eating all the junk because I'm like, you know what? I'm walking it all off.
yeah.
um, and then like the next day we went to Stirling, another city in Scotland, and we toured that castle as well, which that castle is really pretty, it has a beautiful garden in it. And we also did like a boat ride while we were there on Loch Lomond.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, you did so
yes.
much.
Yeah, yeah. I think Scotland is just so beautiful. I love like visiting all the different sites, and then I love also visiting all my family because I think they're so fun. And
Wait,
yes,
can we like back up really fast? Like what are you? Like I had no idea. Like
so it's funny because like a lot of my family's in Scotland, but we're actually Irish. My
oh,
my great grandparents, so my grandma's parents, they were born in Ireland, grew up there, and then they moved to Scotland for jobs.
okay.
And yeah, and so then my nana, their daughter, grew up in Scotland, and how we came here. My Papa Pete, so her husband, my grandpa,
That is so cute.
yeah, he was stationed in he was in the Navy and he was stationed in Scotland, and that's how he met my nana. Um, and so they fell in love, and then they moved to the US. And like my mom and her siblings were kind of raised back and forth between the US and Scotland because like my nanny would get homesick and she'd want to go back to Scotland, so they'd pack up and move back to Scotland.
Oh
And then
wow.
my and then my Papa Pete would get homesick, so then they'd pack up and move back to the States.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I just needed to know.
That's fine. Yeah, I love it. We try to go like every year, but it'd been a while because of COVID ruining everything. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. But then after that, we went to Tenerife, which is an island. It's part of Spain, but it's off the coast of Africa.
Hmm.
Um, it's like part of the Canary Islands. I don't know if you've heard of that.
So
Yeah.
all of this is foreign to me. I would have to like Google it as you're saying it to like know exactly what you're talking about. But I saw your photos and I'm like putting the timeline together when I saw your pictures. So I'm definitely gonna look up all these places, but I don't know
Yeah.
anything.
So we were there, and I gotta say, like, we were a little disappointed because we're used to like the Caribbean and it being like in the 80s, you know, sunny and 80s and like
Yeah.
just amazing. And you'd think an island off the coast of Africa would be
Yeah, that's super hot.
pretty dang hot. Yeah. No, it was like low 70s the entire time.
Huh.
And it was cloudy. And so I got a really good tan still, but like we were like freezing.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
So
so
no
that was
swimming.
yeah, we tried to go swimming a little bit, but every time I'm like, I am freezing.
Oh,
I
I
just
hate
cannot.
being cold and wet.
Yeah, it needs to be like 80s and sunny for me to go swimming in a cold pool.
Oh, 100%. I need it to almost be like bath water.
Yeah, yeah. But I think my favorite parts of the trip, we went to Loro Parque, which is like a giant zoo they have there. It was amazing, probably the best zoo I've ever been to. And me and Paul love animals, so we really enjoyed doing that. And we got to see like a sea lion show,
Oh,
and it was like the best like show I've ever seen. These sea lions, they're like, I think they're like dogs of the sea because they were so cute and they were so talented, and I loved it. It was so cute. Um, but then the other day we went to, oh, I can't think of the name of the park now. We went to it's a water park in Tenerife, and it's like, I guess it's really famous. It's like one of the best water parks in the world.
okay.
Um, and the beginning of the day was like amazing. We were having so much fun, going on tons of rides. Like we went on almost every single ride. And we went on, they have like different levels of the rides. And most of the rides we went on were like medium. And so then we went on like a level, like a high level one. So it's like one of the scariest, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and it was like a 4-person one. So it was me and Paul, and then my sister and her boyfriend. So we go on it. It was like terrifying, but like so fun. There was like a giant drop. Um, and then you like go in this like big like, I don't know, you circle around and all that. Yeah. But we go on that, and this is kind of where it leads into like the topic of like discrimination for
Okay.
our episode. So went on it perfectly fine. Didn't once like feel like I was gonna fall out, you know?
Yeah.
So we ride that. We're like, oh my God, that was so scary, but that was so fun. Probably the best water park ride I've ever ridden on. So we go and
So
ride
are
on.
you guys, I'm sorry. So are you guys like in a tube? Like it's a 4-person like tube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there's some people, like we're kind of all facing each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went on like some more rides, and then like our day was kind of wrapping up. So we're like, okay, which ones should we do again? Cause like we're almost done with this, with the water park. So we're like, okay, we have to go on that one again. Like the really scary, fun one. So we wait in line forever. We finally get up there. We're ready to go. I start to like step in to the tube, and the worker's like, he like looks at me and he's like, no, 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 no. And he like points at me and he's like, nope, nope, no, no, she cannot go on.
Wait,
And
haven't you already rode this ride before?
yeah, it was the exact same ride I rode like maybe hour and a half ago.
Okay, keep going.
And you know, I always heard stories about people being told like you can't ride on a ride because of like a limb difference or whatever. And I thought like, okay, this is eventually going to happen to me, but I didn't think it would happen there because I had ridden on like every single ride, wasn't told anything.
Yeah.
Um so he says like no. And Paul gets like pretty upset about this, and he was like, she already rode this. Like
Yeah.
he was like, she was already on this ride like an hour ago, and you guys didn't say anything. And he was like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible.
Was it the
Uh,
same dude?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't really remember all of the different guys, but I don't think it was the same guy. I think it was a new one. Um, but yeah, he was like, no, it's not possible. And I'm like, okay, well, it is possible because I did write it. But I was like, I just immediately was like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, I didn't want any drama. I didn't want to, cause a
Yeah.
scene in front of like all these people. But Paul was like pretty ticked. He's like, are you kidding me? Like, she's ridden all the rides in the water park. Like, she's fine. And the guy's like, she can ride the ride next to this one, which that one was like a medium level ride. And we rode on that one too. And I'm like, how does that make sense? I can ride
Oh
on,
my God. I am like
yeah.
sad for you.
I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, I can ride on that water park ride, but I can't ride on this one. I don't know. It just, I was like, I already rode that one too. And I just kind of like walked away, and like everybody in line is like staring, and I'm like, oh God, like I hate this. And we passed like my parents because they were in line for the other ride, and they're like,
Oh
what's going
my gosh.
on? They're like, what's going on? And I'm like, they won't let me ride the ride. So I had to like go back down the stairs, and then I saw like Paul, my sister, and her boyfriend following, so they didn't get on the ride. And then I'm like, ugh, I feel like a burden because they really wanted to ride that again, and because of me, they have to skip it. And I don't know, I just felt like really embarrassed and sad, and like I understand that it's for safety reasons and they don't want anybody to get hurt, and mostly they just don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
But yes, but I'm like, just the fact that I already wrote that and I didn't have any issues at all and I knew I wouldn't, like, it was just upsetting and embarrassing. So,
No, your feelings are like 1000% like valid because I mean, it needs to be consistent first off. Like,
mhm.
if you went after the first time and they're like, "No, you can't write it," like, whatever, but, like, obviously they weren't paying attention, that's, like, their fault because,
Yeah.
I mean, you would probably have witnesses because we look different, like, we know you know I'm here, like,
Yeah.
know, like, you know that I rode this ride, you would have witnesses that, like, attest that you had already ridden the ride before and then you were kinda discriminated against, like,
Mhm.
writing it again, saying that you can go on this other kitty little one, which, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
medium one, but you go on the other one, like, that doesn't make any sense. If I can't ride one ride, I shouldn't be able to ride the other rides.
Yeah, that's what didn't make sense to me because they were very similar rides. Like, and you got to hold on with both handles for both rides. And I'm very capable of like holding onto a handle with my arm, like just fine. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
after that, like there were other like high level rides that my boyfriend and like sister and her boyfriend all wanted to go on, and I was just like so freaked out about that whole thing, and it made me like even question myself, like, oh my God, like what if I fall off on one of these rides? And I didn't want to be told like, no, it's impossible, you can't go on this one either. So I just like didn't write anything the rest of the time we were there.
so you were, like, doubting yourself.
Yeah.
That oh my gosh, I am so infuriated. I have never had that happen to me, but, like, I feel like I know in that situation, you just want to be out of the spotlight because it's so freaking it's like the eyeballs are so on you whenever something bad is happening at the top, you know?
Mhm.
And then, like, you have to literally walk yourself down of, like, the walk of shame,
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah, that's
it's
how it
so
felt.
I know, and I'm so sorry you had to deal with that because that's not okay, and it should have been, like, across the board, you wouldn't be able to ride it, and, like, I am just so sorry that that happened to you. Hope that, like I hope that no one has to go through that, but I just hate that we have to go through that. And, like,
Yeah.
you just know you're so capable of doing it, and, like, you've been doing it for probably, like, 3 hours before that,
Mhm.
and then it happens to you, and you kind of think, like, "Maybe should I be riding this ride? Like, should I be doing this?" Like, no, you don't think like that in life. Like, you didn't think like that whenever you applied for freaking nursing school. Like, you're like, "I'm gonna do this,"
Yeah.
you know?
I
And
know.
so, like, how did you go about it? Did you, like, talk to supervisors? Like, what did you do?
No. I mean, Paul probably would have wanted to talk to somebody. Like he was really upset about it for me. Um, but like I don't know, I kind of kept to myself, and I was pretty upset about it. And to me, I know like there's no point in talking to like a supervisor or anything because like they'll just say it clearly states on every single one of their like boards for the rides, it says like hold on with both handles, hold on with both hands or whatever. So like I have no argument to be like, well, I can do it.
Yeah.
um and because like I've been reading so much lately about like people like falling off of rides and like that really shouldn't have been on rides. So I feel like parks are going to start to get a lot more strict with who they let on rides because like they're not going to want a lawsuit.
Oh my gosh.
You
Everything
know?
nowadays is that. Like,
Yeah.
they don't want to be liable for it. Like, how do we go forward? Like, like, so I can't go to Astro World and ride a ride, like,
Yeah.
but I can go to, I don't know, Splash Town or whatever, and I can ride those rides. Like, it's just
I
very
know.
scary for our community and like other communities that are going to be able, like, are going to have to deal with this.
Yeah. I know. It's just tough because it's like we know, like I knew I was capable of riding that ride. If I didn't think I'd be able to hold on, like I wouldn't have tried it.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you're
like,
not a child.
yeah. And I I say all the time, I actually think like my arm, like my shorter arm is like stronger than my left arm. Like
Oh, 100%.
yeah, I carry like so many groceries. Like every time we go to the grocery store and we like unpack it to get into the house, I like put so many bags like just lined across my arm and I can just carry so much with that arm.
It's so weird. Like, don't arm wrestle me. Like, I will beat you
Yeah.
with my little arm. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just and I saw like people comment about it that they went through like similar things and one girl even said like I think she said that she had to wear like a wristband indicating that like she's only allowed on certain rides, which I'm like, that would be awful.
That is like, I have no words for that. When you posted that on the Limb Different page, it got so much traction, and like I had no idea this was happening to so many people, and I
Hmm.
just feel sick to my stomach because like we're out here trying to have a good time too. Like we're not trying to die either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we don't want that. And I just really want to know how like we're going to go about that in the future, and that sucks like wearing a wristband and stuff, but you know what? I guess it's kind of better than getting up to the top and saying no.
Yeah. I know. I wish they had somebody like down at the bottom, like so that I didn't have to stand in line forever and then get all the way up to the ride and then be told like, no, you can't go on.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the whole situation. You've never gone through that, and like you just are just you do everything. We both do everything, and a lot of people are just like, I can do everything. Like I'm not afraid. I can do it, and just having that kind of rejection is just hard. And I
Hmm.
can hear it in your voice that it still affects you.
Yeah.
Like you will remember this for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna be kind of like anxious going back to a water park or like an amusement park or anything, just out of fear of like being told like, no, you can't go on, and then having everybody stare at me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I am so sorry that happened to you. I just feel like it should have never happened, and it's just so weird that you were already on that ride and then it's like, "Oh no, you can't." And the way he went about it, like he couldn't have been like, "Hey, um, you can't really ride this ride because of your arm or whatever." It was just like how he did it was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. It was very like, I don't know. And like just the way he was like, no, 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 no. Like super loud. And he was like, it's not possible. Not possible.
Yeah, like he didn't have words, like
Yeah.
spit it out.
I'm like, what do you mean it's not possible? Like, it is possible. I just wrote it an hour and a half ago.
Yeah. Um, is there any way that like you were coping with it?
Um, I mean, at the time, like I was pretty upset about it, like almost to the point where I like almost started crying because I just felt like embarrassed and like nobody in my family could like relate to me and how I was feeling. And like
Mhm.
even Paul was like, he was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I don't know how you feel. Like, I know it must feel awful. And he's like, I wish that didn't happen. And but I don't know. I just it just took time the rest of the day, kind of just like relaxing and just trying to forget about it and just reminding myself, like, I know I'm capable of doing it. Like, I
Hmm.
got to ride the ride, probably the best ride ever. So I got to do it. um,
Yeah.
so, and I'm a firm believer in like everything happens for a reason. So, like, you never know. Maybe I would have gone on that ride a second time and something would have happened. So,
Yeah. I definitely always try to look at it as like a positive because you just can't dwell on it, you know?
mm-hmm.
And things are going to happen to us that we don't understand and we don't agree with, but always try to look at a positive of it. Just like you saying something maybe could have happened. Maybe it's like a 1% chance or something, and maybe you saved your life. Who knows?
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's hard and embarrassing and it sucks and it's dumb
Mhm.
and all the words in the world, you know, and you're feeling all the emotions and you're embarrassed. But I'm really sorry it happened. And I think you handled it with grace and respect.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I think I know like some people may want to fight back but like honestly, I don't know, just with how things are nowadays, I just don't feel like we're going to win the argument. So like I just didn't waste my energy on being like, "No, I can do it. I can do it." blah blah blah, and then having to like get escorted out. I just was like,
yeah.
"Okay, it's fine. Like it's fine. I'll go on a different ride."
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and end our podcast with one of our questions.
Okay.
Um,
So we got the question. It was a question asking like if Savannah and I had ever gone to like a limb different camp as a kid, like growing up. And my answer is no. Like I didn't even know about other limb different people until high school. So, and even still, I haven't gone to any limb different events, which I really want to. But
yeah. So when I was younger, I did not go to any. My family did want me to do like the Shriners Hospital one, but I don't think I was ever put in any of the camps. I didn't even know that other limb different people existed
mhm.
until probably like college, like mid
Yeah.
college. And I did find Nubability Athletics and I did go to one of their camps and it was absolutely life changing and remarkable. The camp is amazing. They're actually having their camp in July. They have them all over in Florida, Texas, Illinois. Like they have them all over, and it's for sports to help limb different kids play mainstream sports, like as in like high school sports. And all of your teachers have played at a higher level, like college and above, like some Olympians. And they teach you how to play that sport that you want to play, like in school or in high school or anything like that, which is absolutely amazing. And you get to meet your other limb different people. It's the best thing ever. If I have a limb different kid, I would definitely put them in these camps because it's life changing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like there's so many options out there nowadays.
And I think we have a highlight on our Instagram of some of the foundations that you can look into, like Lucky Finn, Nubability, there's Outreach. I think we'll probably update that a little bit more on like the camps and stuff so y'all can be more aware of them.
Mhm.
But that's it for today. So see you next time.
All right, see ya.